Lads, welcome to the Back to the All Out Attack podcast. Today we're joined by a very special guest. We got Lee from AFTV.
Hey, how we doing, guys? You all right?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you for coming. So today we're going to be just starting off by asking him a few questions. So who wants to go first with?
Yeah, I'll go first if you want.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. No, I just want to say, thanks for joining the podcast. We're just new and starting out, and it's a big boost for us for someone like you to come on here. So thanks for that. And
no problem at all. No problem at all.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. We were talking just before recently about Arsenal's form. So, in the Premier League, you guys, been improving this past month or so, and I was just wondering, where do you think that's going to lead you? Will that get you to a Europa League? Like, you reckon you get further along the line, get towards the final?
Oh, well, I think that's the only hope we've got, if I'll be honest. Whether we can get there or not is another thing. I think what you have to do is respect the other teams. There's a few good teams in that competition at the moment. So, Leicester, Manchester United and Spurs at this moment in time, as the league table tells you, they're better than us. You've got AC Milan who are flying. I think Napoli are in it as well. So there's some real tough teams. So, we're going to have to, and listen, we've got a draw against Benfica, which is not easy. It's not a gimme. So we've got a tough draw in it. And I'm afraid with Arsenal, we just don't know what you're going to get. I think on our day we can beat anybody, but then on another day we can lose to anybody. So it's a tough ask. But I think if we're going to get to the Champions League, that's the only route we've got now. So we've got all our eggs in the basket, and we've got to get through in that.
Sort of round of 32.
Yeah, we've just got to get through that round, see what happens, and take it from there. But I can't see, unless we win probably 10 of our next 10 league games. That could get us somewhere in the top four, but I can't see us getting 30 points from 10 games. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah, 100%. Just to elaborate a little bit on the Europa League point, I just want to say, I think, you've got some good teams. Obviously, United, best team in the Europe right now. They're in there with a shot. We've got Sociedad in this round.
Best team in Europe? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that, mate.
I like the shot on your wall. Maybe that's when you guys are the best in Europe, but it hasn't been in a long time.
Well, listen, being the best in Europe is... I think there was probably one time we was, but it doesn't mean to say because you're the best in England. You might be the best in England at this time. In Europe.
Yeah, but you guys have given us some great players like Robin van Persie, and Alexis Sanchez didn't do great with us, but Dennis Bergkamp, you've had Thierry Henry. I mean, growing up, I used to watch the old games of those, and it was amazing just to see those guys play.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I'll hand over to Kieran. Yeah, do you want to ask a question?
I actually do have a question. So, who is your favourite Arsenal player you've seen at the Emirates over the years?
My favourite or the best?
The best. Go for the best.
The best. Oh well. The best player for looking at is probably Thierry Henry, but my best player, but I don't think he was really the Emirates era. So for the Emirates era, I'm going to go Cesc Fabregas.
Oh, okay.
For a couple of seasons, he was outstanding.
Yeah, Cesc Fabregas.
So Robin van Persie would have to be up there as well. But Cesc Fabregas. Just trying to think who else. Yeah, Sanchez for 3 years was sensational, by the way, absolutely sensational. So I'd have to say Cesc Fabregas, followed by Sanchez and Robin van Persie.
That is a very solid three, I'd say. I used to love watching.
They're all snakes. I still get PTSD from watching Sanchez at the London Stadium. That performance at the London Stadium when you beat us 5-1, that still gives me PTSD.
Yeah,
that goal he scored against us when he completely mugged our whole team off. That is simply class he was.
You caught us on a good day there, And I think that was the first time we played there as well. So
It was the first season, yeah.
Yeah. So start as you mean to go on, but unfortunately, it hasn't been like that in the last couple. But I think we've. He was sensational that day. I was actually there that day, obviously, but and he was brilliant.
Me too. But yeah, I'd agree with you.
Yeah, Sanchez was like I remember that. Yeah, you lot signed him, and everyone was like unsure how good he was going to be. You know, people thought Barca were just trying to get rid of him, but he just came and he did the shift. And you know, he was probably a better signing than Ozil in that sense. You know.
Oh yeah.
100%. I'd agree.
For 3 years, he was at like his last year. Forget about his last year, but for his first 3 years, I am talking off the scale.
One of the best players in the Prem at that point, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt, you know what I mean? Like, he's up there, you know. He was sensational, and the cup final goal, one of the best goals at Wembley. Yeah, just sad how it all ended really with Alexis Sanchez, because he would have gone down in legendary status, but I don't think the club really matched his ambitions at the time, and you can't like any player that's left Arsenal. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. He was definitely at that point your like standout player, and like also I say people often compare him to Eden Hazard. He was that good at that time. Like he was.
Oh, he's better than Hazard.
Listen, Hazard at one stage was sensational as well, you know, and not a lot. I think if you was a Chelsea fan, you'd say, Hazard was the best. And if you was an Arsenal fan, you'd say that Sanchez was the best. You know, He was just, you know, very, very fortunate to get him at that time. And probably could have done a little bit better in the league, if I'll be honest. But you know, that's how it is. But it was a pleasure watching Sanchez for a few seasons. I can say that definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. From a neutral perspective, like I'd be excited to watch Arsenal to see players like at that point like Sanchez and Ozil. Yeah.
Listen, not everybody used to like apart from Spurs fans, used to like watching Arsenal play back in particularly under the Arsenal days, you know, because they was good to watch. You know, it was a good side. Some of the football we played was fantastic, and it was entertaining. You know, it's not quite the same now, if I'll be honest. But you know, everybody has their day. You know, even Spurs fans have had their day. You know, but,
true.
We've all had it. You know, some of us longer than others.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever had it as a Millwall fan. I don't know if I've ever had a hard day. Maybe the FA Cup semi-final 2004, but I can't really remember that. But...
No, I can't remember that. No. Like, listen, Millwall. I remember Millwall knocking Arsenal out of the FA Cup a few years back in the 90s. So coming to Highbury and winning, like, you know. So, and always a tough place to go was Millwall, like, you know.
Yeah, it's not quite anymore. We won like 2 games at home this whole season.
No, it's changed. You know what I mean? Like, changed, you know, changed stadium and all that. So that's why. But you know, that a notoriously tough place to go.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we can get a result out of the Den.
Yeah.
At times, but do you want to ask a question now, Callum?
Yeah, I'm down. My question is, what do you think of the new signing, Martin Erdegaard? Do you think he'll improve Arsenal, like, from now to the end of the season?
Do you know what? It's a tough one. I think he's a good player, what I've seen of him, but, you know, hasn't played a lot of football, long spell, you know, 6 months. Listen, I think you've got to just see how it goes, but we needed someone in that role. We're a little bit short in there. So, from that point of view, I think that what it is a stopgap sign. Hopefully, like, you know, he does really well and wants to sign for Arsenal. But I think that maybe you know, we can't get the player that we really want in this window. So we're, you know, like getting someone on loan, maybe to get us through till we get that signing, or we'll sign him. So I think we'll see how it goes. But definitely a very, very good player. And I know that a few teams have been after him. Apparently, Emery wanted to sign him when he first came to Arsenal, but he didn't happen. We shall see. We shall see.
Does he not remind you of like a Danny Ceballos type signing? Because it kind of rings a bell in that sort of sense that he might remind me of Ceballos.
Yeah, I think with the loan signings, I don't think loan signings are that great, if I'll be honest, because you haven't got that infinity towards the player. You always feel that he's not your man or whatever, like, you know.
Yeah.
But Danny Ceballos, I think is a strange one. I think there's a player in there, without a doubt. He's a top player, you know, as he proved last season when we was winning the FA Cup and that. But it just blows hot and cold. So I don't know if, hopefully, you know, I'll see Ceballos do some wonderful things, and then I think, my God, you know, he's brilliant. And then the next minute I think, no, you're not. You know, so it's a different one, like that. So hopefully we'll see the best of Erdegaard. Let's hope so, anyway. Like, you know?
Yeah, I think he could
Hopefully he
add
doesn't.
Oh yeah, I just thought he could add a lot of, you know, he has that depth to your squad. I think, you know, against Southampton, I think I'm not, you know, I don't want to obviously destroy Arsenal, but I just want to say, like, it wasn't the best performance by the rotated squad, and I just felt like, you know, Odegaard might add some quality there, could link up well with some of the youngsters as well.
Yeah, exactly. Our squad's not good enough, and that proved the point on Saturday. So it needs improving.
Yeah.
I don't think we're like a Chelsea that can go and buy 5-6 players in one window for that sort of money. We're going to have to do it slowly, like most teams do.
Yeah.
So, you know, get 2 or 3 in and try and get through. The main thing in this window, we've got rid of a few, so it opens up for other players. So maybe not in this window, but hopefully in the summer we can nick a few, like, you know. So we're about 3 or 4 players short of being a really good side.
Yeah, I think there's just, yeah, as you say, like the lack of creativity was definitely, like, you could see it at the start of the season. Like, you needed someone in there like Odegaard. I mean, Smith Rowe's come in and like played pretty well recently, but I still think he's definitely going to play a like pivotal role in the team, like getting the best out of Aubameyang and Lacazette. And
yeah, exactly. And what we need is sometimes you need 2 of them. You know, when you're taking on, say, like Newcastle or these boring teams like Spurs that better put like 4 banks. You've got to be able to break them down, like, you know, and the way you break them down is sometimes you have to have 2 of those sort of midfielders. So an Erdegaard and a Smith Rowe may be the way to break these teams down, but you're not going to break these teams down with El Nini and Saka. You know,
yeah, I agree.
You know, so
maybe get Guendouzi back.
Well, Guendouzi, yeah, he's a top player, but you know, I think he's been a bit of a naughty boy, really, what I'll see. But well, hopefully he sorts himself out, because he is a player. But yeah, I think sometimes you need 2 in there to be able to break teams down. So let's see what he does. Let's not put too much pressure on him.
Yeah, I've just got one more like kind of random question. Would you take Saka in your 23-man England squad?
Is that a question, or are you winding me up?
It is a question, because I was debating whether.
Yeah, well, listen, I'll tell you what, England have got some very, very good attacking players. If you look at it, like, you know, player, obviously one of my favourite players is Grealish. He should be on the team sheet straight away. But I think Foden's a very, very good young player coming through as well. Really been impressed, you know, like impressed with him. What I would say about Foden, he's got great players around him, so that makes it a lot easier for him. Like, but Saka, I think, is one of the, and I'm not being biased here, because, you know, I'll say as a player, if it's a good player who played for Spurs, or whether he plays for Man United or whatever, I just think that with Saka, not only is he a talented player in the position that he's playing now, he can play in 3 or 4. I've seen him playing 3 or 4 positions.
Yeah,
that's true. He's versatile.
And then he's played wide left, and I thought, oh, what a wide left player he can be. He's played wide on the right, and you think, wow. And he's 19 years of age. So I would say that whether he starts games or not may be a different thing, but definitely in the 23. If he's not in the 23, I will be supporting Scotland. I can tell you that now. Like, you know? So we'll go fair enough.
I think he's definitely got a claim to it above some of the other players, because of what you said. He's so versatile. He can play in 3 or 4 different positions, put in a shift.
But you have to look at it and say that we've got Maddison in there that people will say is a quality player. Like, you know, Mason Mount's decent and has done a fair job while playing for England. So there's a few there, like, you know, and you know, you've got Harry Winks as well. So, like, wow, we've got a great midfield.
Harry Winks.
Harry Winks gets nowhere near.
I don't think Harry Winks gets near. I don't. Not even I do.
Not a chance.
Neither does Eric Bayer.
I'm winding you up with Harry Winks, but you know. So,
maybe the debate, maybe Harvey Barnes, maybe, or even Tarek Lamptey making it to England squad.
Declan Rice is another player that's doing really well for England as well. Just might as well mention that.
Declan Rice. You might as well just put Danny Welbeck in the squad.
No, Danny Welbeck at one stage, but I think it's passed him by now, like, you know.
Can't get me started on Rice. It's not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. He's staying solely at West Ham.
I think he's doing a very good job. Listen, what on the subject of West Ham, I think, like, you know, David Moyes is not getting the credit he deserves at this moment.
I agree.
100%.
Absolutely fantastic job what he's doing with West Ham.
It's the best season I've seen since the last season at Upton Park, in my opinion. We haven't played this consistent since that year where we got into Europe.
No.
Yeah, definitely played.
But yeah,
definitely played consistently bad.
Picking results away from home, winning games at home, which has always been difficult for any manager at West Ham because of the environment. But
Bilic's first season was good. I think Moyes he's got it sussed up now. He's signed a decent fullback. He's got decent centre mid now. Both the Czech players. He's decent. He's a decent manager. He's very, very underrated. He's doing a nice job. So
he's got a raw deal at Man United, and he's come back at there at West Ham. He's doing a really, really good job. A couple of West Ham mates of mine are more than pleased with what's going on there. So he's done well.
Yeah, they really look a threat, West Ham, this season, even against us. But I just wanted to pass to Saka for a minute. I think he had a few questions to ask Lee. He's an Arsenal fan himself. So
top man like that. Very like
Yeah, I just want to ask you, what are your thoughts on Arsenal's inability to sell players? Because we've seen Ozil leave, Socrates has left, Ramsey left for free, and now Mustafi is going to terminate his contract. So Arsenal are unable to get back money that they spent. They spent tens of millions of pounds these players. I just want to know what you feel about this.
Well, yeah, it just shows you how poor the club's being run. Like, you know, the reason that obviously we can't sell these players is because one, they're crap, and the second, they've got they're on too much wages. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. You know, they've had a good deal at Arsenal over the last few years, and it's disappointing. You know how many players. This has been going on for many a year now, going back to when, funny enough, Edu was an Arsenal player, fantastic Arsenal player, by the way, in the Invincibles and that era, 2002 to about 2005.
Just before my time.
Before your time, but great Arsenal. Yeah, but if you ever look up on YouTube and watch Edu, he was a terrific player. But he went for free to Valencia. Sylvain Wiltord was our record signing at Arsenal.
Quality player.
Scored that goal at Old Trafford.
Scored the goal at Old Trafford. Went for nothing. So it's not a new thing that's been happening, you know, at Arsenal. You know, Wilshere, Ramsey, gone for nothing. A lot of players. Welbeck, another one that, you know, has gone for nothing. These players, you know, I mean, you laugh about Welbeck and all that, but if you'd have got 3, 4, 5 million for him, it adds up to somebody else, you know. And it's been poorly run, Arsenal, over the last few years, particularly on transfers, in and out. You know, so but listen, for every bad signing that we've made a good one as well. Gabriel looks a steal at 22 million. Gabriel Martinelli looks a steal at 9 or 6 million. I think Arsenal paid for him, 6 to 9 million. You know, incredible. So, you know, as bad as we've been, we have made a couple of good ones along the way as well.
Yeah. And you're completely right there. Even with United, I was just going to say, like, you know, Ed Woodward's a bit incompetent as well. Like, you know, with like some of our players, Di Maria, for example, like, we bought him for like 60 million. We sold him next season for 40. And
Man United have made a few like down the line, you know. So that's happened. That happened. Listen, every transfer is a gamble, you know, and unfortunately, we've made a mockery of some of them, as you say, as well as Man United have as well. The fact is, probably Chelsea and Manchester City have made a few bad ones, but because they're winning trophies, people seem to overlook that. It's only the teams that are not winning trophies that.
I wonder who that one was aimed at, about the no winning trophies.
No, it wasn't nothing to do. They've made a few blunders in the transfer window as well over the years, you know what I mean? But, no, it wasn't a knock at Spurs. It is. It's the fact that, Chelsea probably, I've seen Chelsea make some real blunders, but because it doesn't matter for them because they can go and buy the next 60, 70, 80 million pound player, nothing said. Yeah. But for us,
that's true.
Mistakes can't be made, So,
well, they did with Pepe. That was a huge investment. It's completely flopped.
Let's not talk about Pepe. Like, I mean, don't get...
Yeah, I don't know. I think Pepe, that's one of the biggest flops I've seen in recent times, like the 72 million. But Havertz so far hasn't been good, but I think he could turn it around for Chelsea.
Yeah, done new manager, who knows, you know what I mean? But at the moment, Pepe's up there on his own at the moment, and and I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to change it around. I just don't see it. So we'll have to see.
I just got what are your thoughts on one of your favourite players, Willian?
Yeah, why is he your favourite player?
Do you know what? I'm going to say this about Willian, right? I thought he was going to be a good signing for Arsenal. I really did, because I watched him a couple of times. I don't watch too many games, other like Chelsea's and all that, but I watched Chelsea against Spurs and when he played really well that day, and I thought to myself, I tell you what, he ain't a bad player, is he? I thought he would do a good job for us, but my God, we signed his twin brother or something, didn't we?
I'll tell you what. He was quality for Chelsea. Like, there was games where he played, and he'd be their best player on the pitch at times. Like,
what annoys me is that.
Do you remember when I think it was the year that Mourinho got sacked, and he was outstanding that season for Chelsea, and he's had a couple of seasons, and when they won the league, and you think but it's just one of those ones that we've all had them, you know what I mean? That it's just not worked, and I can't see it working, and I honestly never thought he was as poor as that, and I think they should be checking to see if that's his brother or something like that.
A little DNA
test. A little
DNA
test,
Yeah, just to see, it's a different William we got there.
Agent William, Frank Lampard's last surprise.
Yeah, he done well there, Frank. Left him with that. Thank you for that, Frank. You know what I mean? Departing gift.
Little present. Aidan, do you want to ask a question?
I was wondering how you got involved with Arsenal Fan TV and how you feel about social media having such a large impact on football, especially in the last decade.
Well, listen, football's changed completely. From when I first started going, and social media has had a big impact on that, as fan channels has, you know what I mean? Whether you like them or you don't, they're here to stay, and they've definitely made things different from that perspective. Social media, I think, is a good thing in one way, but I think that it can be abused and things like that, and for me, I've always used it in a positive way. And I think that if fans can do that, it's great. You can interact with different fans, whether it be Tottenham fans, West Ham fans, or Man United fans. It can be a good thing. Listen, banter has been in football for a very, very long time. And nowadays with the fan cams and all that, it's just moved to a worldwide audience. But you'd still, from when I was been at school and work and all that, there'd be always the banter between the Spurs fans and the West Ham fans and whatever. It's just now on social media, it's made it unbelievably bigger, and I think that it's here to stay, and you've got to accept it. How I got onto AFTV, just one mad rant
against Swansea. Was against Swansea.
The one against Swansea, yeah, and it just, I wasn't on social media or anything like that. Not on social media, not on anything like that. I just had the ump that day when it happened, and I just walked past it actually where it was, and I said something, and someone said, "Why don't you get on there and say that?" So I said, "All right, I will." And the next thing was, there was this light and Robbie standing at the end of this camera. I didn't know him from Adam. And I just said what I said, and it just went. Listen, guys, it went absolutely crazy, you know. And honestly, I didn't go on there for it to be like that. I just went on there. I actually said to my mate, "Oh, is there any way of getting can we get it deleted?" And my mate said, "No, that's on there forever now, mate." You know what I mean? And that was it. No, I wasn't on social media or nothing like that. My mate only phoned me out about 3 o'clock in the morning that night, and he said, "Oh my God, Lee, it's going absolutely mad. It's going crazy." And yeah, that's it. It went from there. And obviously, like things have happened from there, and got different things that come from it, and it's just been an amazing ride for me, really. Like, you know, and I've been lucky. Like mostly, it's been positive, you know, and obviously, like with the way things are going now, like on the watchalongs and things like that, because there's been no fans, it's just gone crazy again. You know what I mean? Where it's even gone bigger from when you just do like the fan cams after the game, watch the games. Now, you know, the watchalongs have just gone mad. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when someone mentioned that there's going to do these watchalongs, I thought, like, who's going to watch that? Like, you know what I mean? But then, like, you do the FA Cup final,
million views,
like people watching it, 1 million people watching it.
That is
It's
insane.
mad, absolutely mad. So, and a lot of people now, I've been told, people I meet that go, yeah, we watched the game, but we put that on next to it as well, like, you know.
That's what I do, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you find it a bit surreal that some people would rather watch your live watch-alongs than the actual game itself?
Unbelievable, because, you know, I mean, like, Christ, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, there's no, you know, I would never, I wouldn't do it, like, you know. But, like, listen, you've got, like, my Spurs mates and all that, like, they watch the game and then, like, Arsenal concede a goal, all right, let's get over and see what they're, you know, what's happening, you know what I mean?
I'm going to be honest, I do that sometimes. So I wait till 1-0 down, then switch it on and see how everyone's reacting to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit of banter, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's how it is, you know, and, you know, you've got, you know, if I was an Arsenal fan, you know what I mean, the first and foremost, I want to watch the game. I would never do, I'd never watch it.
I'd agree with that.
Honest.
But, like,
you know, Robbie said that he watched one when he weren't well that time, and he said he really enjoyed it. And I've got people that, you know, my mates and all that, they go, oh, it's great to watch now, like, and so they've got their computer next to the telly and they're watching it, like, you know. But it's definitely, it's through COVID and whatever, it's just opened up a new door, and it's a new way of watching football for people to watch it and enjoy it, or people to banter it, you know what I mean? And that's how it is. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Out of curiosity, are you all like mates behind the scenes as well? Do you do many things like aside from the watch-alongs and the reactions and stuff? How much goes on behind the scenes?
I wouldn't say mates, you know what I mean? Like, do you think I'd go to a drink with DT and have a drink with him? Like,
no, I suppose not. No, but
no, like, everybody gets on. It's
where's the card? Where's the card?
It's
the referee is there.
Sorry, my God! Listen, I love Ty. He's a great guy, but he is unbelievable. That so positive, and he is like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, you can't believe that he is like what he is. So that's unbelievable. But yeah, he's yeah, we all get on and all that. To you know, I wouldn't say they're your mates, because they're all different people. I go with a lot of different people to football and all that. But if you bump into them, you say hello and all that, like, you know, and whatever. And you know, we've got it's like, how can you say, it's like, you know, workmates or schoolmates or something like that. That's how it is, you know. And you go to the office, you've got like the new studios now, got the offices at the bottom, and the studios at upstairs. So you go in the office, you sit in the office, have a chat, and then you know, you go and do your stuff, and then afterwards you go home. That's how it is. So it's just like a working environment, really, like,
yeah, because like I think that's one of, you guys are probably one of the biggest fan channels in the whole world, like Arsenal Fan TV. You got over like 1 million subscribers, and I think it's just brought a different dimension to football because, pundits, some of them are neutral, some of them aren't great. And, from fans, you sort of get like this, passionate rant, and, you criticize the club, you criticize the players sometimes, and some players don't like it. But at the end of the day, I think like some of the stuff fans say is reasonable and it can help them improve their game.
Yeah, it's not about what the players like, and it's not about what the pundits. You know what I mean? Like how I look at it is that I don't want, and this is what when I was like watching it, you'd watch a game of football like on Match of the Day or something. I don't want to see what Jermaine Genius has got to say about Arsenal.
No one wants to know what he's saying.
No one really wants to know what he wants to say, or Alan Shearer or someone like that.
Danny Murphy.
White, yes. Danny Murphy, like I say no more. So, so before I got into AFTV, I'd listen to what Arsenal fans do, because that's what they're feeling is what I'm feeling, their passion and whatever, So that's how I see it. And it, and I think it's a great thing that you can see what a fan wants to say and all that. Some like a professional footballer, because he's a good footballer, doesn't mean to say that he's got the same passion for you as in a game of football. And they see it differently. But like the fantastic thing for me is that I've been able to, in my way, interact with ex-Arsenal players and that have got the passion for Arsenal, and that's a gift. You know what I mean? Like that. So, and that's I agree. West Ham have got their TV things, Tottenham have got their TV things, and all that. And you come out of the game, and if you've lost, you share that pain. It's like therapy. You know what I mean? You don't want ex-Tottenham player or Liverpool player telling you how you should feel about your team when you've got fans feeling it as well, and that's where I think it's good. I think that's where it is good. Yeah,
I'll agree with you there, because after you've just obviously come out of the stadium, you've just lost, you got absolutely battered, you're walking out, you just want to rant. Like you walk out ranting to your mates anyway, you rant to everyone else around you. So it's basically just expressing that, but to a wider audience.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get genuine fans on there, then it's great. You know what I mean? Listen, I know a few of the West Ham boys, and they've got the passion for it, and you feel their pain, and of course, if they've lost and whatever, you can give them a bit of banter, because that's what football's about, guys. You know what I mean? Like, listen,
exactly.
I don't watch Match of the Day when Arsenal lose. I'll be honest, you know what I mean? But if Arsenal have won and Tottenham have lost on it, I'm watching Match of the Day. I might even record it. You know what I mean?
It's always the case. You got to be straight at home, watch Match of the Day, whatever. And if you've won, you sit that, you enjoy it, you go to bed.
Exactly, you know what I mean, and that's how it is. You know what I mean, and don't get me wrong. If Arsenal have lost, the Spurs fans are getting onto AFTV and having a little watch, getting popcorn out and having a watch. That is football. Exactly. Of course, you know what I mean. I bet you when Arsenal have won, you don't, and that's the simplest thing. You know what I mean. You get it on your timeline and things like that. And when Man United have lost, and you have a bit of fun with it, and that's what football's about. It's all about not being taking it too serious on the banter side and things like that. So,
sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Legend.
Good luck with everything. I hope West Ham do well. Man United, not so much, and definitely not Tottenham. There you go.